Hello everyone, welcome to another episode in the Roblox Nostalgia series. Today we're going to be looking at Natural Disaster Survival by Stigmaster Luke. I'm going to be honest, there's not a whole lot to talk about in this game because chances are you already know this game. If you've played Roblox before, you've either seen this game or you've played this game. And chances are you've probably played this game because this has been in a couple of Roblox official events. Most notably the Hunt. I don't know if it was in the Classic event, but I could be wrong. I don't remember seeing it. But anyways, let's take a look at the statistics here. 4.1 million voters, 90% of them said this game was good. 4.1 million is already a large number, and 90% of 4.1 million is also a very large number. 3.2 billion is an astronomically larger number than, millions. To put that into perspective, that is less than half of the whole world population. Little less than half. And of course, currently active players, this number is usually a bit higher. It does fluctuate a bit. This is like 2,000 players down since I last checked on it. But that's still a huge number. And granted, it is like 10 p.m., at least in my time, which is PDT time zone. But yeah, it is also the weekend. So that could be affecting the numbers in some sort of way as well. But yeah, keeping that in mind, still a huge game to this day, made in 2008. Also putting this in perspective, there's like only one other game I can think of off the top of my head that has been made that long ago and is still huge to this day. And that would be Work at a Pizza Place, which we will be looking at in a much future video. Anyways, still supported game, just updated in the month I'm recording this, early this month, but still, probably, it's like, a lot newer. A lot of games aren't usually this supported when they're this old. So yeah, props to Stickmaster Luke for keeping this game up for so long. Additionally, I don't see why you would abandon this game. This is, well, let me just go down here. 3 game passes. Okay, 3 game passes, as well as another thing you can spend Robux on in-game. We'll look at that later. But yeah, 3 game passes, and they're pretty cheap. They're not, expensive. You've got the green balloon, the red apple, and the yellow compass. This one is much more unknown compared to the green balloon and the red apple. I think the green balloon is like, it exists in every server. Right? There's at least one person with a green balloon in every server. And when this game is so huge, you can kind of understand why this game is still supported. This brings in a lot of money still. It's a one-time purchase, and it's permanent, but it's just so useful. Like, if you've got Robux to spend and you do enjoy this game, I don't see why you wouldn't buy this. Okay, it's a very reliable item. It just lets you jump a little higher, but that distance is pretty valuable in a game where you need to survive, and generally going higher up is a decent strategy. Red Apple, also pretty popular item because it allows you to survive longer. It gives you HP. Yellow Compass, this is not advertised in the game, and it's only seen here as far as I'm aware of. And it really just allows you to just pick the maps. It is a permanent item, so it does make sense that it's a little pricey. But for picking maps, I guess it could just be dropped down to 50 or 30 Robux. That's in my opinion, that's what I think the price should be, but it's also kind of odd having it at 64 rather than 65 or a nice even number like that. Yeah, these 2 items, the red apple and the green balloon, they are much more known because they're actually advertised in the game, which we will also see shortly, along with the feature in the game that you can spend Robux on. Going down to the badges here, we can see, they're mostly self-explanatory. They're either in the title or the description. This one, you just get struck by a bolt of lightning during the thunderstorm disaster. This one in the description, very much, especially in the description. This one's part of the barn map. I don't know if that's the name of it. I could be wrong with the names of the maps, but generally, most maps aren't so similar that they would both, 2 maps would have barns. There's only one map with a barn on it, so yeah, barn map. You just survive I think it's a firestorm or just, I can't remember the name of it, but fire. Okay, it's a spreading fire, very much a natural disaster. I guess you would say wildfire, but I don't think it's called that in the game. I could be wrong. This one, it's in the description. This one on the Happy Home map. If you know Shedletsky or you play Cole's admin, you would recognize the red-topped home with beige walls. That is this map. It's the same thing, Same house. You just gotta survive a flash flood on that map. Anyways, moving on from that, you've got the helicopter map, or rather the military camp map, as I remember it, because it does have a helicopter on it, but it also has a tank. Neither of which I think actually function as intended. The tank you can drive, and it is two-seater, but it's also really unconventional for surviving most of the disasters. The helicopter just does not fly, unfortunately. But you survive that during a thunderstorm. Like I said, most of it's pretty self-explanatory. This one's also self-explanatory if you know the mechanic. Like I was mentioning earlier, the feature you can spend Robux on in-game, this is the feature. If you power up the machine, it will power up, and it'll let you survive more disasters. Well, it wouldn't let you survive more disasters, but you are allowed to go through multiple disasters. Essentially, you're just making the game harder for yourself by spending on Robux. But usually it's quite fun. Going through a tornado and a tsunami and a flash flood and a blizzard doesn't sound good on paper, but in the game, it's a pretty funny thing to go through. And it also gives you a badge if you do end up surviving those multi-disaster rounds. And of course, a very prestigious badge for surviving 1,000 disasters. I honestly think this is only difficult because of how bored or boring it might become. Because 1,000 is a very large number, all things considered. And you'd have to play 1,000 rounds, and then you probably spend even more time if you end up losing rounds, which honestly isn't that uncommon. It's kind of easy to die in this game, multiple factors, most notably fall damage and just getting hit by a random flying part. And of course, this one, which honestly isn't as self-explanatory, but there's a spaceship map in the game, which I think is its best map because it's got a spaceship that actually functions. It is intended to fly up, but sometimes you might just kill everyone on the ship because it decides to just go off in some odd angle and into the ocean. And this badge right here, this was for the hunt event. I could have sworn there were other badges for this game. Maybe I'm wrong and I'm just misremembering. But yeah, this is the only badge related to an event, an official Roblox event. Anyways, moving on from badges and subscriptions, let's actually just hop into the game now. Alright, now that we're in the game, someone just died everywhere. But yeah, we've actually got a new feature here. This menu used to not actually exist before, because honestly, it's not that useful. But if you're a new player, this could help. I won't deny that. Of course, most people who play this game are probably returning players, not so much new players. And honestly, once you do it for the first time, you kind of understand the whole thing. There isn't really much to understand about this game. It's pretty self-explanatory. Just survive the natural disasters. But here's some extra little info in case you're a bit lost. So, also, we've got this cool confetti effect that shows up when you click the accept button. Anyways, as far as this structure of the lobby goes, it's been the same for years. The stairs might be different. I'm not sure. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna jump off the map. Actually, no. We'll go ahead and play around. We'll play around. But the lobby has been the same for years. But the stuff on top of it, that's actually changed quite a bit in recent times. Anyways, these maps themselves, I mean, you can kind of tell by the way they look. They're pretty old, and not much has really changed about them. I don't know how far, if there's been any new maps lately. Sorry, but I don't know if there's been any new maps lately. I do know there's been new natural disasters, like the flu one, and I think the avalanche might be a new one. But the flu one is also a new one. That one was added back around when we were in a COVID lockdown quarantine. So yeah, that was pretty interesting. So we've got a blizzard right now. This one's been around for a while. But as far as the maps go, they're pretty simplistic. And I mean, I can't really see how it would function if it was detailed because you kind of need the parts to break. I mean, you can see with this window right here, it's just changed into a snowy texture. If these were more detailed, it'd be kind of hard and probably kind of laggy to actually survive. Anyways, we've got probably not the best chances of survival in here, but I don't know, I think we'll be fine. I don't really think a red apple or a green balloon is necessary for this. Just gotta stay put, honestly. And yeah, just gotta stay put. As far as taking damage goes, I actually don't know how the mechanics for the sandstorm and blizzard work, but I'm assuming it's if you're under a part that isn't, broken off or loose. you'll survive. Or if you're like near a wall or something like that. I'm assuming. I have no idea how these things work, but that's what I understand. So we're just gonna be waiting this out for a bit. Not much to talk about, just maybe some stuff to look at. If you can't even see anything in this weather, you can see the fog effect kind of obscuring the vision. But yeah, these maps, they all kind of seem the same, simple parts with simple textures, and yeah, you just survive the natural disasters. Blizzard one, pretty underwhelming one. There's some more fun ones out there, especially the COVID one, the flu natural disaster, as they put it. That one's my favorite, honestly. But yeah, you can see from that menu just there that popped up, your name is highlighted in purple if you survived. If you didn't survive, you would not be on that list. But yeah, you got the base plate map, which by the way has never changed. This part has never changed, I'm pretty sure. The maps themselves, though, they might be different. Anyways, back to the lobby. I think I'll just reset once they spawn me in. But yeah, back to the lobby here. We're gonna go ahead and talk about. Oh, by the way, if you're wondering about the water, that's also been the same. I don't think that's ever changed. But the stairs, I feel like they weren't always this color. I could be wrong. But yeah, on top of here, we've actually got some billboards up here and a machine. This machine was related to that mechanic I was talking about earlier with the Robux. If you spend Robux, you can make multiple disasters happen on certain rounds. They are random though, you can't really pick disasters, but honestly, I think that might have been a feature in private servers. I could be wrong, but I could have sworn you were able to pick disasters out once before. But yeah, you've got the green balloon and the red apple billboard advertisements. I don't think these have changed. They might have been bigger before, I'm not sure. But yeah, those have been around. They've always been advertising these. But you'll also notice there isn't actually any compass billboards. So yeah, it's kind of why no one ever really buys it. It's not really advertised out that much. They got a billboard here. I'm assuming this is for advertisements because this is, advertising whatever's going on here. These two billboards are new, but the Game Pass ones have been around for a while, especially the mechanic here. This machine has been around for a while. I don't think it's changed ever since it was released. But you've also got this leaderboard here. This, I'm pretty sure, is a new feature. It shows how many. I'm not on here, unfortunately, but out of this server, how many survivals these people have had. So apparently, this guy's actually reached 1,000. These two people. So congrats on them. But yeah. Anyways, I think that basically just sums it up for this video. Pretty short, pretty simple, pretty neat game. And I recommend you check it out, just for, hanging out with friends or just, killing some time. But yeah, anyways, that's all for this video. Thank you all for watching, and in the next one, we'll be looking at another natural disasters game. But very different, and a bit more classic feeling. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and goodbye.